We take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Ngalo na la wato kumata bak asira linga da foko wonyo fawo dinkira
Hey, elafta maboro la bank kalpo efa igiso eseo na yuna jang iba dinkira to kati yuna wallet ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat
ni la yuna wallet to si muna fanno tulo yabo mano kandri en fen jama isi sanno la yona wallet to kono yalla kamo soto ila wallet to kono
alkana la konda no tay kafi yuna wallet anatan tolle mukan na balwo fanondi abe sona yaren ko bulu podo nela mobile scan yo science ise maboro ke wato men diate
ko be sandro ke fangole ba ko ba ke kan dimbalem isi ngi lonko e sandro yona enterprise wato wati anela yona wallet to la ibe lan kamo soto kay la wallet to kono
alina ngakafun nanyi yuna dimbayal kan kasandiro ke yuna bitikoto alina kata nyin ko kentat la sura fa lolu di sandiro kije se maboro fanan keje
moro jundi ana nyum ko di mabal din kadeda
This season on Kerr Fatou.
The reason I am
Hello and welcome to another edition of our show. It's another Thursday and we are back here in the studio. Today I have Mr. Mamodou. Mr. Ba is the head of the food safety of the Gambia. Mr. Ba, welcome to the show for the first time.
Thank you, Fatou. It's my pleasure.
Your team were here, I think, during the sniper time. I had the technical director and others here, and it's an honor to have you on the show.
It's my pleasure too.
Today we'll be talking about food safety issues. And also, I think I had a show with Mamodou Drame, and we were talking about AmCham, Chamber of Commerce. We were also looking at how we are not able to export Gambian products in the United States like other countries because of packaging, able to label properly and all that stuff, and the role the food safety also can play. I think that's important. We will be looking at the issue of expired products in the market. How safe are we as a country? I think because those things have come up, and recently something happened, and when that happened, I took upon myself to look at just what is happening around, and I think these are issues that the Gambian people want to hear from you, and I really acknowledge that the fact that I texted you to say I want you to come on the show for the first time, and you said, you know what, when and how, and I think this is what a lot of us want to see from a public official. But first, I want to start with the mandate of the Food Safety Office. What is the real mandate of your office? What exactly are you mandated to do?
Thank you, Fatou. Actually, we have the biggest mandate in the country. Let me put it simply.
Yeah.
Apart from the air we breathe, which is free, food is the most important commodity in life.
Yeah.
So that makes it one of the most important tasks. And the mandate of the authority is to make sure that every food that is placed in the market is safe, is wholesome, and is nutritious, meaning safety and quality.
Yeah.
So that is our mandate. And by ensuring that also, we are supposed to help facilitate trade.
Okay.
Because if we look at the certain outcomes of safety in food, it will also add the market value of food commodities for trading.
Okay.
So that is why we also have a side effect of also facilitating trade.
Oh, so if my rice and oil is expensive, that has to do with something that is part of your mandate as well?
No, not the cost
Not
of
the costing.
commodities.
Oh, commodities.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
The trading.
But the availability of the commodity, of the good and safe commodities.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So you said something, and that is very important. You have the biggest mandate apart from the air we breathe.
Yeah.
Basically, you control all of these things: the food we eat, the water we drink, the drinks we drink, all of these things that we consume.
Yes.
How safe is our food out there? The things that we consume. How safe are we as a people?
Well, normally, the safety of the food is measured by the health outcomes.
Okay.
And when I mean health outcomes, we're looking at, foodborne diseases, illnesses related to food intake. Now, in the Gambia, if you look at the health statistics, food-related illnesses, like, let me say, foodborne diseases, are not that many. Okay. Hardly do we record a lot of foodborne illnesses in the country. What we have more seriously, if the non-communicable diseases that are linked to diets and are linked to certain categories of food, like the hypertensions and the diabetes and other forms of, cancers, So most of them are related to the type of food and to our lifestyles. So, but then when it comes to the safety of the food, meaning the food should be devoid of contaminants, be it microbial contaminants, be it chemical contaminants, be it other forms of gaseous contaminants. So they have to be actually clean of contaminants that are harmful to the consumer. So basically, what we are regulating is the contaminants in food. Making sure that the food have no contaminants or have contaminants that are within the acceptable limit. Because when you look at food, every food has got certain microbes in it. Every food has got certain chemicals in it. Every water has got certain minerals and chemicals in it. So basically, but there are acceptable limits of intake that we can consume and not cause harm. So people need to understand this. So, and then once we control this, is to make sure that the food is good, is wholesome. Okay. Now, when the Gambia is predominantly dependent on imported food, because we do not produce adequate food to sustain ourselves as a country. So we depend on imported commodities like rice, sugar, oil, onions, and potatoes, particularly when it comes to the essential commodities. Most of them are imported. The Gambia produces close to only 30% of the consumption, that we consume. Over about 70% of the consumption. I'm taking this, for example, let me take the example of chicken. So even though we have poultries that are upcoming and everything, but we are able to produce about 30 to 40% of our consumption, of chicken daily. So therefore, the other percentage
70%.
has to be imported.
Okay.
So, and to make sure that the imported chicken is safe, is of good quality, that's where we have these control measures.
Yeah.
So we ask for certification, we do inspections, you understand, and then through the value chain, when it arrives, where it is stored, where it is distributed, where it is sold. So these are the chains that we also regulate. So you see that we have inspectors at the entry point, which is mostly the border point, the seaport. And we have inspectors that inspect warehouses where it can be kept, including cold chains. We also have inspectors that inspect even vehicles that carry food, you know. Then we also inspect now the stores, be it either the wholesale stores or the retail stores, and the supermarkets, and the mini markets, and the corner shops. So these are the chains that we actually inspect to make sure that the food chain, throughout the flow, it retains its safety and it retains its quality. So that is basically what we do.
Okay. Now, but in I think it was last year, this sniper incident when it happened. I remember one of the biggest challenge, even for your authority, to be able to determine really, to conclude on that investigation, you had to take samples out of the country to test them in Senegal and in, I think, in Ghana, something like, but it was out of the country because we don't have those facilities here. Now, do we have those facilities now? If not, how do you test these things to check the content? For example, the water. There are chemicals in these waters that we drink. Now, how do you determine that the content, like if they're telling you putting 5% of a certain product in the water, how do you determine that? You just go by what they're telling you, or you're able to determine it by testing it?
Yes, you know, testing has different categories of testing. And I think the sniper taught us a very important lesson.
Yes.
And yes, during those days, we tested most of the items in an accredited laboratory because it was a national issue. And when it comes to national issues, you don't have guesswork. You have to be absolutely crystal clear and certain about what you are investigating is there or is not there. And the results don't have to be doubtful. So therefore, you have to take it to an accredited, an internationally recognized and accredited laboratory. We don't have one yet, you know. But then, you know, then you test it there, then your results is what you come back to the public and then announce to the public or announce to the food business operator. So it was expensive. However, since then, what we have resorted to was, you know, the analytical aspect of those samples are always expensive. We resorted to doing what we call field testing kits, you know, which are handy and they give you immediate results. What they may not determine is the total quantity of the substance in the product. Like we call it the quantitative analysis. It may not give you that. But the qualitative analysis, it will tell you whether it's present or not present. So that's a good start. And if you look at it, you know, as monitors, I think we are now using more of field testing kits than going to expensive laboratories and testing. Because it's more cost effective. One, if we realize that certain, you know, also contaminants differ when you call in risk category. There are contaminants, once they are present in food, that food is absolutely prohibited to be eaten because of the degree of the contamination. Because there are certain contaminants when they are like heavy metals. They are carcinogenic. They are cancer they cause cancer to the human being. Now, you can never allow that food to be ingested. So, but there are certain things that you can allow. For example, I'll give you, for example, the water. You know, the first thing you test is the pH of the water. Is it acidic? Is it alkaline? What is the pH of the water? So that will start to tell you the quality of the water, the safety and quality of the water. Now, you can also, we have field testing kits whereby we can take the water and test even for microbial activity. You understand? And then it will give you, sometimes you can know that the microbial content is very high, or is low, or is medium. That's what it will tell you. But it will not quantify the number of microbes in the water. So we have those testing kits now. Also, we have recently has got pesticide testing kits. You know, for pesticide residue in food. So, for example, if we had those testing kits when it came to the sniper, we can easily test in the fish whether it has actually the sniper or not on the spot.
On the spot. Okay.
You see? So it will have made our work much more easier. So since then, like I said, we've learned our lesson, and we have resorted to practical and more pragmatic approaches to official control of food.
But do you have the manpower? How regularly are you able to send inspectors? For example, we have a lot of water companies. You see some people just bag water and sell. We have a lot of people who sell fish in the market. We had a sniper case here, and how assured are we that they are not doing that again? Because like you said, for us to be alarmed, we will have to have like an outbreak or something, right? We haven't had that, but that doesn't mean that certain things are not harming certain people. Now, do you have the manpower to be able to inspect, for example, most of these companies that do daily food processing like water, fish, and all other stuff that we consume daily? Because that is something, do you have the manpower?
Yeah, but for water is easy because there are establishments. They have establishments and they have fixed locations. So, and they're registered with us. So we have inspection schedules for water companies. So we visit all the water companies in the Gambia, but it has to be scheduled. It doesn't have to be every day you are at the water company, because you also build what we call confidence limits in some of these production lines. Because, production is also business. It's costly, it's expensive. You understand? So you don't have to be bugged by the regulatory authority being present every day.
Every day.
So now, that's why we said we are adopting what we call risk-based inspection. If we don't see any risks over a period, then we reduce the frequency of visits. And that is global standard. That is best practice. But if we feel that we find something in your water plant, then the frequency will be triggered. We'll be more frequent there, and we might even not only inspect, but we can do a full audit, which is different from an inspection. The full audit will take care of from the equipment, from the start of the flow, which is where if you are getting the water from the borehole, from the borehole right to the water bottle. You understand? We'll follow and check and audit every single step. So, but if it is an inspection, then we usually go to your, distribution, distilling area, bottling area. We check usually for hygiene and other things. So, and then if we are okay with it, and also for the hygiene of the staff, whether they are medically fit, and whether they have been screened and things like that, we monitor. So I think based on that, we'll determine now, where we place this particular water company. So, and then, whether we will reduce the number of frequencies that we come to your establishment, or whether we should increase it based on the risks. So that's why we call risk-based inspection. And, there is one thing about food control, is that it is based on 3 strong pillars. And outside those, you are not doing control. It has to be one. It has to be a science, it has to be science backed by data, which gives you the evidence. It has to be scientific, meaning that you have to be able to explain this. It has to be backed by data. You are able to know the frequency of this happening. So that is the evidence you need. And the last one is the law. It has to be backed by law. That's why we have an act, and in addition to the act, we have standards, we have regulations. You understand? We have guidelines, we have all this regulatory framework has to be there. So that is why we have to follow strictly these 3 pillars. Sometimes, the public are a bit anxious. So they want Johnny. But sometimes, like regulatory regulation doesn't work like that. It's not Johnny. It is followed by a process. And that process, takes into consideration particularly the framework around that control. Because if, for example, we go and enforce in one business establishment.
Yeah.
For example, we close one business establishment, and we are not sure of why we closed the business.
Yeah.
We cannot explain the reason scientifically.
Ah.
We don't have the evidence, and we don't have the law backing us to do that.
Yeah.
They can sue us.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are conscious of
About
that.
that, yeah.
So that's why we strictly follow the processes.
Okay.
And these processes have to be, they have to be available to us for us to really act. And even if you look at the sniper case issue,
yeah,
we had some positive cases.
Okay.
Yeah. But the law does not allow us to go and arrest those people and prosecute them or put them in trial. You know why?
Why?
Because what we were doing, we were monitoring.
Oh, okay.
So that is not an official control. So we were monitoring.
Okay.
And what we monitored was, we take some fish from you, we take some fish from there, we take some fish from there, and we pull them together. You understand? And then, mix them, sample, and then take a sample.
Yeah.
And we say, okay, this particular, from Tangier, we took a sample, we found this. So it doesn't mean that all the fish in Tangier had, but it was a what is it called, a collective sample.
Sampling, okay.
Yes. So therefore, we cannot go and arrest anyone, but if we come to you, for example,
yeah,
and we take official control, now we take your samples. We suspect, for example, if we do the field testing, we find something that is a violation, then we take the samples to an accredited laboratory and do the confirmation.
Yeah.
Then if those results we can use to prosecute, to fine, to do any enforcement action that is required.
Wow. Now, so in the meantime, before those results come, what happens to that business? They can still operate or what?
No, if like I said, if the risk category is high, then that's immediate closure.
That's immediate closure.
Immediate closure.
Okay.
If the risk category is medium, then what we call is we temporarily suspend.
Okay.
That is temporary suspending.
Suspension. Okay.
And then we monitor you whilst we give you what we call improvement notice.
Okay.
Then you go through that improvement notice and see where the problems are.
Okay.
And you fix them within a given period.
Okay.
So if the risk is low, sometimes if we just confiscate the items, and then we just go and destroy them.
Destroy them.
Yes.
Okay. Now, for example, you said people that are registered with you, people that are licensed with you. What about those that are operating without operating license under the agency? When somebody does that kind of violation, they operate, because we know people that are operating and they don't have license. What happens to those people if you come across those kind of operators?
Well, the registration process started barely 2 years ago. So what
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
So what they were doing,
even though the act was in 2011.
2011.
Wow.
But what they were doing was almost free registration.
Okay.
So when I took over in 2020, so one of the first things I looked at was the registration.
Okay.
Because for my background and point of experience, so from my experience, you cannot regulate something that you don't know. Again, like I said, you have to have the evidence, the record, that we have 40 bakeries. You have to have the records.
Yeah.
You understand? And those 40 bakeries have to go through a registration process and complete it. Yeah? So any bakery, for example, that we come across during our routine inspection,
I'm sure there are so many tapalapa joints that you don't know of.
Yeah, but then you'll be surprised.
Oh, yeah?
We know a lot of tapalapa joints because what we do, sometimes you can go through, the best kind of regulation is go through associations.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't have to be there. The associations will bring you all the list of their members.
Okay.
And then you register all of that, and then you schedule now.
Okay.
You know their location, and then you schedule, maybe within 2 months, 3 months, you make sure that you have visited all the tapalapa bakeries.
Yeah.
You understand? And inspected their facilities. Those that are found wanting, we close.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Those that are, again, medium, we give improvement notice, and then tell them, okay, you need to fix this, you need to fix that, you need to fix this, you need to improve on your hygiene, etc., etc. And then these are all written and given to you.
Yeah.
Then within that period that we have assigned you, you must improve those things that we have highlighted.
Yeah.
You know, and then once we are satisfied, then you resume production.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes our work is extremely difficult because our work is also linked to food security, you know.
Yeah.
Meaning the availability of food. Because if we close half of the bakeries, there would be food insecurity in the country because there will be scarcity of bread.
Does that determine how you treat individual cases? Does that determine, for example, if people violate one part of the law, do you look at the bigger picture of food insecurity in determining how to find them or what to do with them? Is that a determination?
No, again, the determination is the risk.
It's the risk, okay.
It's the risk category.
Okay.
You know, that would determine what our action would be.
Okay.
Again, if it is high risk, that's complete
closure.
Enforcement. You understand? If it is medium risk, that's where, again, we have certain category of medium risk. You know, you are suspended and allowed to improve, and within a short time, some establishments actually work overnight to improve those facilities. You know, there is one restaurant we closed around Senegambia some 2 months ago. You know, and thankfully, you know, that case was reported to us through the social media. You know, so we also have an eye on the social media. Because we are looking at all these reports that come out. Actually, we do a verification. What we don't normally do is to go to the press and tell them, yes, we are aware, we are going to do this, we are going to do that. Because again, we don't have the capacity to be responding to every complaint.
And these are businesses too.
You understand?
Yeah.
And sometimes you see one complaint of one tin. It's not that I'm renegating that one tin of whatever food that is spoiled or something. And then it generates so much, you know, social media attention.
Yeah.
And if we are following everything like that, we have a whole of Gambia to look after.
Yeah.
So we like compare that one tin, you know, compared to the so many tins that are out there, that are being sold, that are being bought on a daily basis, on every minute, on every second. So we look at the bigger picture then.
Okay.
You understand? It's not that we neglect, but we do our verification.
Yeah.
You know, silently, we'll do our verification. And if we establish that there is a violation, then of course we deal with the business operator.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to come back to the food issues, but I want to go to this, for example, accreditation, the food safety. I had this conversation with the AmCham CEO yesterday, and we were talking about how we can help businesses, young businesses, women. We have a lot of women that deal in corn. We have people doing arrow, rui, and all these things, and they want to take it to bigger markets. But our biggest challenge is our packaging. I have seen people doing arrow here and sell it to people in Senegal so they can package it, because Senegal has all the facilities, and I think they are FDA certified. Now, what is our problem in Gambia? What is the food safety doing to be able to get certification if necessary, also have the testing facilities that will allow our young businesses to be able to package their stuff here and send it directly, and that resource is coming back to the country, and it will be very helpful. Is there anything that you're working towards something like that? Actually,
there existed some laboratories that were not accredited. I think some were heading towards accreditation, like the one on microbiological laboratory that was at the Ministry of Fisheries. They were working actually towards accreditation. But then I keep saying this, most of the public sector laboratories, public managed laboratories, they are not efficient.
They're not efficient.
They are not. And they have so many challenges. In fact, we just concluded an assessment of laboratories in the Gambia. There are so many challenges, and I intend to even present this report to Cabinet so that you know, they look at it critically to see what can be done with some of these laboratories. Nonetheless, you know, food safety and the Gambia government in particular have been actively searching for ways of getting a full-fledged food testing accreditation lab. Now, we have one at our institution,
Okay.
you know, but again, is the testing and accreditation that is actually missing. Now, one thing that I thought about at the time was that since the public sector-run laboratories are doing so badly, why don't we resort to the private laboratories? You know, I don't mean 100% owned private-owned labs, but I was thinking of public-private, you know, laboratories that are actually managed by the private sector. So we went into an agreement with SGS, that is the Société Générale de Surveillance, which is based in Switzerland.
Okay.
But they have food testing laboratories globally, all over the world, in China, in Germany, in other countries. And so we were actually working towards a partnership that they will come, and then with the facilities that we have, we join hands, we invest in terms of equipment, in terms of, you know, financing, in terms of human, you know, resources. Then we start up a laboratory that will be accredited within, let's say, 6 months or 1 year. But the change management, I think the regional person changed, and we missed that opportunity. But otherwise, by now, we would have had a full-fledged, you know, accredited food testing laboratory, you know, fully run by SGS and in partnership with FSQA. Now, the government of the Gambia took advantage of the COVID funds, and then they secured a place to build a food and drug laboratory.
Oh, the drug laboratory at the turntable?
Yes.
It's going to have a food testing?
Yeah, it's a food and drug laboratory.
Okay, we thought it was just drug.
No.
Okay.
It is a food and drug
drugs.
laboratory.
Okay.
So we were the technicians behind the design, behind everything else, the specifications of a lot of things.
Okay.
So we had a lot of input in that.
Yeah.
And we expect that once the laboratory is designed, it's a very good designed laboratory. So once it is ready, so that will take care of a lot of the infrastructure issues that are also considered during the accreditation, you know, system.
Okay.
Now it will be left now with the equipment and the service.
Yeah.
So which again we intend to put in place. And once that is also in place, we believe that, you know, the Gambia will have a full-fledged, you know, food testing, accredited food testing laboratory.
Wow.
Standards Bureau is also in the verge of creating a laboratory for food testing. They want to concentrate on certification, testing certification. So, which is what you were talking about.
Yes, because I'm a businesswoman, so these things are very...
testing, you know, testing and accreditation.
Yes.
But however, what I would urge those people that are trafficking fish to America and other places and getting rejects and you know those, I think if they come forward and work with the FSQA, we will find a solution.
Okay.
You know, but then they need to be registered.
Okay. With
you
guys.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we need to control them in order to help them to be compliant.
Okay.
With the US market.
Okay.
But sometimes also, on television, you know, there are also politics in trade.
Yes.
That's why WTO was set, you know, to try and arbitrate and, you know, but, you know, trade is something very interesting. Now, I will give just, I'm not insinuating that it is the case, but then, you know, the love of catfish in America has warranted the Americans to start investing in a lot of aquaculture development, production of catfish. So if they are naturally, that is trade tactics.
Yeah.
Naturally, if their supply becomes higher, their demand for catfish will decline.
Yeah.
So, and now they will start, you know, reducing the amount of catfish that they will intake in America and in other places.
Yeah.
So these are the politics of trade.
Trade, yeah.
You know, which we have to also understand.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to know the market forces,
Yeah.
you know, which are affecting trade. And once you know them, then you are able to diversify your market and look for new market sources. You understand? And then look at other places that are in need of, for example, catfish, and in need of mackerel, or in need of you know, the tuna fish.
The tuna fish.
So it depends on what you have, what you're producing.
Yeah.
So, but you know, we have companies that have established, and I will, you know, I know all of them are doing very well, but I'll single out one company called Bluefin, which is run by a lady. You know, I'm proud of that. That's why I'm saying it.
Yes.
And she is thriving in the industry.
So right now you're helping some companies to be able to take their fish out of the Gambia.
Oh yeah, we even are penetrating the EU market.
Oh wow.
Some fish companies are exporting directly to EU.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it depends on, you know, what you want, but you know, predominantly, you know, the SMEs, what they do is they take their fish, and then try to take it to America.
Yeah.
Some of them are not certified by us.
Yeah.
So, and when they go, they have this PAH, this polyacrylic hydrocarbon. They have these PAH issues, especially when it comes to Kong, smoked fish.
Yeah.
You know, and then once they test them at arrival, they find the PAH is high, they will reject them.
Yes.
You understand? But if they had worked with us closely, without hiding their you know, their consignments, I think we would have helped them.
Okay.
Even if we are going to do the testing at maybe in a laboratory in Senegal or something, making sure that, you know, their product is conforming to the US
market,
you know, to the US regulations. You know, then, you know, they would not have rejects.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I hope, you know, the women take advantage of that, because that was something that, you know, we had a conversation, and I thought, you know, it's important to raise it. And also the fact that, you know, this center that they're building include food testing, because honestly, even on that conversation, we kept saying, oh, it's the medicines testing. We didn't know the food was also included. I think that's hopefully very soon that is ready. Now, I want to come back to food. In 2023, when the sniper issue came out, you said something, and that I am like, you said, expired food is the least of our worries. You said, I think you said, spoiled food is the
And I said, please don't quote me right.
And you said, please quote me right. And my reporter, that was the headline, exactly what my reporter reported. Now, the ordinary folks wouldn't understand that. Why do you say that?
Now, you know, there is a misconception about expired food in this country.
Okay.
Any food that is spoiled, they will say is expired. Any food.
Okay.
You know, they cannot distinguish between spoiled and expired. Because for them, anything that is spoiled is expired. That's how they term it. It's called branding. You understand? So, and we are trying as much as possible to raise awareness. And of course, you know, this platform is also an important platform where we can explain some of these things. And we thank you for inviting us and giving us an opportunity to explain ourselves. When I said, you know, expiry food is one of the least worries, it doesn't mean expired foods are accepted or are permitted. No. I am looking at our task and what we are doing and what is in the market. Now, for example, there is a whole junction, branded expired junction in Serekunda market.
Serekunda market?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a junction that is branded expired junction.
And they say only expired food?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Oh my God.
So that's what is branded. It's branded expired junction.
And people take pride in even giving them that name.
So anyway, it's not particularly a laughing matter.
But it's interesting.
But it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Now, and I keep betting people for a long time now.
Yeah.
I said to them, go to that expired junction, buy one can of expired food and bring it as evidence. I would leave my job. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. Because we don't have expired products there. because we have worked so hard over the past years to make sure that expired foods are almost out of the system, So if I can confidently say that, and I'm on television.
I disagree with you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of my people will also the viewers will disagree with that.
I'm not saying agree or disagree. Yeah. I am saying I bet
you're betting.
I bet you to go to that expired junction and buy a tin that is expired. Tin that is expired and bring it to me as evidence.
Is it because they are changing the labels on the products? They're putting new expiry dates on the products?
No.
Is it because they're doing that?
No. Because what happened, that's why I said people have misconception of expiry.
Okay.
For example, what happens, and I think you just said that you are going to vote, so I believe that you are well exposed.
Yeah.
Now, I started doing food safety in Germany. So I know Germany have the best standards when it comes to quality.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shy to say that. Now, when it comes to expiry, you have items that you clear before their expiry date. That is applied everywhere in the world. That's where you go to supermarkets, you have the clearance basket.
Yeah.
And some of you folks, some of us folks that were in school, in university, not able to afford the good stuff.
That's sometimes where most of us will go, clearance area.
Exactly. So they call them clearance basket. They want to take out the stock that is nearing expiry.
Yeah.
Or they are going to they have a new stock and they want to get rid of the old stock.
Okay.
And then they put it in the clearance basket. Now, the businesses now, they know these things because we have constant engagement with food business operators in the Gambia.
Yeah.
And most of the time we decry whether they are Indians, Lebanese or whatever their nationalities are. But for me, I don't look at that.
No.
I'm beyond xenophobic. I look at the food business objectively, professionally. And whichever food business, it doesn't matter to me. When they're near expiry, they take it, give it to these push owners, and they take it out there and start selling it. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, most of the time what happens is people see that these things are cheap. They don't actually check that this will expire in 3 days or in 4 days, or it should be for immediate consumption.
Okay.
You understand? And that is where we also need to sensitize the public more. When it is near expiry, then they take it out to the street to where it is accessible to the ordinary person that is passing by and make it cheap so that they can dispose it of before it is expired. Because if it is expired, it's a liability on them. Number one, if we find those expiry products with them, we take enforcement action. And number two, it's a burden to even dispose those items because you have to pay for all the disposal process.
Yeah.
You understand, as the food business operator. So therefore, a lot of people sometimes buy these things not knowing that they are going to expire in a week or two. Then they go and buy a lot and stock. And they want to eat it within 6 months,
Yeah.
Especially these cereals and jolas, when it is meat, they want to think that they will never finish.
For longer, yeah.
So, and if they keep it for longer, it will go past its expiry date. And then you come and you look at it and you say, oh, it's expired, I bought it from expiry junction.
That becomes your personal problem.
And you say that, well, it is true that they have expired food. You understand? And even those people that are claiming that they are changing labels. I'm not saying it's not happening. But again, like I said, the pillars of food control is 3 pillars. The evidence must be there.
The evidence must be there.
The evidence must be there.
Yeah.
And sometimes people bring, it is not definitely justified. You understand?
Yeah.
And there was even a time called the intelligence services. They did a report on this. They investigated thoroughly, and this was coming from high up. they investigated thoroughly about this claim of removing label or replacing labels.
Yeah.
Or having a labeling machine somewhere and then, you know, putting new expiry labels. But we have no evidence of this so far.
Yeah. Now, my next question was going to be, there are allegations that inspectors come in weekly basis, come across expired food on our shelves, but you just cleared that is not the reality, right? Is that what you're saying? We don't have constant come across expired food on our shelves in supermarkets?
No,
is it constant, or is it something that you come across often?
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying, I'm just asking, is it something that you come across often?
Yes, we do come across expired, you know, items on the shelves of supermarkets, mini markets.
Okay.
You know, we do come
And
across
how
that.
often is it? Is it often?
No, it's not very often.
Okay.
I mean, the frequency is actually getting lesser and lesser. Because the more we are having compliance, then the lesser we have those items.
Okay.
And one of the problems that we have, Fatou, is you know, some of my brothers and sisters that have been in the diaspora want to come and establish some form of business where they will support their families and their livelihoods. Then they bring containers of items, both personal and food items.
For sale.
You know, but then those food items, they even declare them that they are domestic items. We don't even charge them for anything.
Yeah.
But when they take it out of the container, they take it to they have a mini market or mini whatever, they put them there. Those are our now problem.
Oh.
Because most of the time, they are not professional mini market vendors. They are not trained on FIFO, which is forced in, forced out. They don't even know how to shelf their products properly. So therefore, they will sit there very relaxed and the items have expired, they don't even know.
Yeah.
You get it? So sometimes people that come and buy sometimes, you know, that's why most of the problems now is with these mini markets.
It's the mini markets instead of the bigger supermarkets.
The supermarkets are, you know, doing very well now.
Okay.
You know, its focus has shifted to the mini markets. Because we have had a lot of fights with these supermarkets, and they know. You know, so some of the biggest supermarkets we had closed.
Yeah.
You know, and then one of them we had closed permanently.
Wow.
You understand? So they know. They know that we don't joke with those things.
Okay.
So, but the mini markets, you know, and those small mini markets that are
we have a lot of them
in houses, in compounds, people build their houses and put up a small shop and put a shelf and put those food items there from America, from there. So, you know, from Germany, from whatever, from UK, from, you know, it doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
But these diaspora products that are coming in, that are not professionally checked at the ports of entry.
Okay.
You know, because they are in a container of domestic items.
Yeah.
So, and it's very difficult for us
to monitor
those ones at the port level.
Okay.
Even for the customs, huh?
Wow.
Really? Yeah. So then, but then on arrival, you know, they take out those food items and put them in shelves and start selling. Some people also sell a lot online.
Yes.
So we monitor a lot of sales online.
Okay.
A lot of sales online.
Online too?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they put on Facebook, they put on Instagram, they put on other places, even TikTok.
Yeah.
You know, people are selling online, everything.
Everything.
So once we get it is food, we flag it. You know, and we check whether this person is registered or not registered, and if there is a number, we call, we follow up. You know, so we are doing all of that. But again, you know, like I said, you know, the public is not privileged
to all of this,
to know all of the things that we do. And we are going to improve on our communication.
Yeah.
So we have just actually appointing a communications officer. We had one, but he left.
Yeah.
You know, so we have appointed one.
He was a colleague of mine.
And we hope that, you know, again, you know, our communication with the public will improve.
Yeah.
And also not only with the public, but also with the private sector, the businesses that we regulate.
Yeah.
And in addition to the private sector, Fatou, we also regulate the public sector.
The public sector.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, we are mandated to regulate the public sector.
Okay.
which is government.
Government. Okay.
Yes. How do we regulate the government?
How do you regulate government?
You know, markets, for example, are owned by government.
Yeah.
The local councils.
Yeah.
You understand? You know, you remember the incident that had become a market, fish market.
Fish market, yes.
You know,
yes.
when I went and closed
it down. Yes.
So it belongs to the Ministry of Fisheries.
Yes.
And it belongs to the council. That's government. That's public.
That's true.
So, but we regulate them as well.
Yeah.
So that's why our job is not as easy as that. You know, and this is going against government and doing things that you feel is right.
People that appoint you.
Yes, exactly.
That
you
is
go
very
against
tough.
them.
Yeah,
So,
that is a tough one.
So, in fact, that is why.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at our functions, we are, you know, we are thriving. At least in the next coming years, we are going to advocate to become actually an independent and autonomous entity.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you know, there could be, I'm not saying there are, but there could be a lot of interferences.
Yes.
And there could be, you know, when it comes to financing, you have to rely completely on government.
Yeah.
And you have to rely on, you know, budget allocations on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
That is not supportive.
Yeah.
You understand? For you to reach and for like we said, for you to build the capacity that you need to do all the things that you're supposed to do, A to Z.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's going to be tough. Now, recently, I'm going to bring this instance. You said supermarkets are doing well. The challenge more is, they have improved, but the challenge more is mini markets. But recently, there's this supermarket, discount center. We reported on it. I think one of our partners that we work with went to this discount supermarket, Dr. Gajigo, I want to call his name, went to this supermarket and bought an item. And came home when he opened his cornflakes, I guess, for his kids. When they opened it, it was smelly, it was all spoiled and stuff like that. And when he went back there, he realized that they had changed the label on the expiry date label. When he confronted them, they accepted. They did not deny those. They told him it was one of the lead people that were working there that did that mistakenly, and they tried to apologize. But he took it up and came to your office and reported the incident and also reported it to the media. And we did a story on it. Now, when we put that story out, interestingly, for me, I always do this. When we put stories, I go through the comments. And some of the comments I saw on the posts was very interesting. I saw people saying, oh, last year I had this incident at discount supermarket. I had other people saying, few months ago I had, it was intervals, different intervals. And some of the people I go to, I profile just to check them. Because sometimes I know how people can also be emotional on issues. So I wanted to make sure, who are these people who are saying they had these incidences? But I can tell you I had over 10, 15 comments like that. And I went to check their profiles. It seems like there was a problem with discount supermarket. People have come across, I must say though, I have people also saying, I sup with them, I have never had issues like that. I want to put that on record too. But that prompted me, that is why I wanted to look at what is happening in the food industry. Are we safe? What is going on? Because this happened, people are saying they had instances like that with that supermarket, and this thing was reported. And I remember when I spoke to Gajigo, he said somebody told them, oh, they will not do anything about it. And I said, well, we will follow up. You know, that was when I reached out. The reason why we're having this conversation today is because you were out of town and you wanted to even do this interview yesterday because I had other things. That's why we were not able to do it. But discount supermarket specifically, when you got this report, what did your team do?
Again, you know, everything has to be evidence. You know, if we have the evidence.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people also, what they do is if they have issue with the supermarket, they first go on to the media.
Yeah.
And it goes viral.
Yes.
They are hindering our work.
Yes.
They are doing a good thing.
But they are hindering.
But they are hindering our work.
Especially your investigation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because what will happen was, by the time we get to that whatever establishment, they would have cleared put their house in order. So we will have virtually little evidence or no evidence to work on.
Yeah.
And again, I said we have to base everything that we do
on evidence. Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
Now, this particular case, maybe people think we haven't done anything. I'm on record. Discount center is closed since yesterday.
Wow.
It is.
It is closed?
Yes.
Okay.
For
how long?
Since yesterday.
Is it temporal closure or permanent closure? What is it?
No, it's a temporary closure.
Temporal closure. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So since yesterday.
Wow. That's big.
You understand?
News. Yeah.
So, we follow up. We have our investigative mechanism.
Okay.
And sometimes maybe the public is just interested in that particular establishment where this was found. But we are not only interested in that particular establishment where it was found.
Wow.
We are looking at traceability. Where did that product come from? We trace it back to its source, to its origin.
Okay.
How did this happen? That's our responsibility.
Yeah.
So sometimes that takes a little bit of time. So, and like I said, people are impatient.
Yeah.
And we cannot go back to the media and explain ourselves on something that we are not certain yet.
Yeah.
So, of course, we have to be professional.
Yes.
Now, and during our investigations, again, if, for example, you are compliant or you are compliant with the investigation, then we allow you through the complete investigation. But the first things we do is, if there is any evidence of any expiry or any tampering or any adulteration or any sort, we make sure that we clear it from the shelves for the public to continue enjoying their service without any problem.
Yeah.
And for the business also to continue doing its business.
Yeah.
Because we protect the public and the businesses.
Business as well, yes.
Is balanced.
Yeah, there should be a balance. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, if it is, again, when we escalate it, as we go.
Yeah.
If we are getting full cooperation, then within a short time we are able to establish where this is coming from and how it is done.
Yeah.
Then the earlier we do that, the better.
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't comply.
Okay.
They don't want to comply. And we escalate now our enforcement as we go along.
Yeah. Now, this particular business,
excuse me.
What determination? Is it just the evidence that there was spoiled food on the shelves, there was tampering with the labeling? At what determination? Why did it take this soon to close the business? Or would you also say we can fault the FSQ because if there were proper inspections, maybe this would not have happened?
No, like I told you, food safety is everyone's business.
Yes.
It's not entirely that of FSQA. We are the regulators. We are the consumers.
Okay.
It is our business.
Yeah.
Also, to make sure that whatever food that we are buying, we are consuming, we make sure it is safe.
It is safe.
We check it and make sure. That's why, there is a whole process of packaging, labeling.
Yes.
It's not for the regulator, The regulator sets the regulations or the standard for packaging and labeling.
Yeah.
But the food business operator puts that in place to comply.
Yeah.
It is for the consumer. That label is the most person that is useful to is the consumer.
It's the consumer.
So that I am having choices. I am having a right to know what I am eating, and I have options. I can eat something that has got cholesterol, something that has got low cholesterol, something that has got zero cholesterol. But the same category of food.
Yeah.
Now I look at the labels and I check what is high in cholesterol, what is low in cholesterol, and then I buy. That's my choice.
Yeah.
So we also, with the businesses, are supposed to give people options to buy what they actually need in terms of dietary needs.
Yeah, choices.
Also, if there is anything in the value, whether number of calories, number of minerals, number of vitamins, so the nutritive value of the food also has to be there on the package.
Yeah.
So that you you know what your dietary needs are, then you know what your intake should be. And then based on the label should guide you on what you eat. You understand? So that's why the labeling is very important.
Yeah.
Last year, we developed a prepackaged food labeling regulation, which is to be gazetted. And once it's gazetted, then it will give time to the businesses to educate them on the regulation, because that's usually the case. Inform them and encourage them to adopt those regulations before we enforce. You understand? Now, because when it comes to packaging, for example, when I came in 2020, I think I gave a press release in 2021, early 2021, and I said we will ban the use of newspapers for wrapping bread.
Bread, yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Now, again, the regulatory framework was not there. I said it, I put the cart before the horse. Because I was looking at the risk factor. But then for us to enforce it again, there has to be a regulatory framework around it. And we could not just do it immediately. Because if you look at what option do you have if you take out the newspaper? Where would they wrap the bread? That is something that you also have to consider.
Cement paper. And that is even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and maybe they would use other forms of even cloth.
Yeah.
And cloth is even more dangerous than the paper.
Yeah.
Because cloth is absorbent.
Yeah.
So, when we looked at it and we say, okay, let's take our time.
Yeah.
And make sure that we put in the regulatory framework.
First.
And we invited the private sector, encourage them to start looking at investing in packaging, food packaging. That is one of our major problems. Food packaging, And I recall one of them, Absolute Entertainment,
yes,
Absolute Group.
Absolute Glam.
Then,
how do you
yes. Then we supported them. They were trying to do some aluminium wrapping. So those are the kind of things that we wanted to encourage, so that people will also come and start importing food grade paper. Like King Baker, I will give an example. They are wrapping their bread in not newspaper, but in food grade paper, which is very important.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we wanted more of that, that the private sector now will take advantage of our pronouncement. It was deliberate. So that the private sector will take advantage on our pronouncement to say, so soon newspapers will not be available in the Gambia. So what do we bring? You understand? And we approached the GCCI. We approached other businesses that we knew to encourage them to start ordering like consignments of food grade paper for packaging. So even last year we were in Pakistan, and of course this year I was also in Pakistan. We were trying to encourage companies to come and invest in Gambia that would manufacture packaging material for food grade.
That's important.
Yeah. So because we need to support the small SMEs and even the productions, those that are able to produce big, so we should be able to assist them to get easy access to packaging.
Now, I still want to go back to discount center. What is the main reason why they are closed? What is the reason? Why are they closed? What specific reason?
No, I said that, we are doing our investigation. I think it's more of about compliance.
Compliance.
Yes.
Okay.
Them complying with our investigations.
Okay.
You understand? At some point, you almost like hit a wall. And it's not about discount center anymore. It's tracing where they're getting their products from. Yes. And if there is some kind of tampering, who is doing that tampering? So that's where we are trying to get.
Wow, that's important.
So so if we find evidence with you, you have to lead us to the source. So and if you are resistant, then of course we take some actions. To compel you to comply.
Okay. And do we know how long this disclosure is? How is it? How do you know for how long will it be? I mean, I think the audience would want to know. For how long?
I don't know for how long.
You don't know the time frame?
No. because there is a director responsible for that.
Okay.
But then what I know was that they were supposed to come to the office today, and I haven't had a briefing yet from the outcome of that engagement with them, and and we will see how that goes.
How that goes.
Yes.
Now, when this happened, it took me, because most of us, when we look at food, we look at what is in the supermarkets, we look at what is in the markets. But the main people who bring food in the country is the big traders. Those that bring rice, those that bring onions, those that bring oil, like all the food, right? Is the big importers. They are the big men. Because you just said the source. With this supermarket, you want to know where the tampering is happening. Is it them or the source? And when you look behind all these supermarkets, it's people that are bringing bulk of our rice. Like you said, we eat 70% of the food that we eat is imported. Now, what happens to these importers? I'm going to bring you specific things that during my investigations that I found. Tylers. We were told there was some time they brought in rice, about 90 containers at the ports, and inspectors flagged it. What happened to that rice? We were told it was released back in the market. Is that true?
It's not true.
Okay. What happened in that instant? Because 90 containers. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's not true. It was never released in the market.
Okay.
You know, we have this re-export trade.
Okay.
Since when I was young, since I don't know, as way back as I can remember.
Yeah.
So most of the countries were relying on the Gambia for their re-export.
Yeah.
You know, Gambia imports more than we consume also. Yeah. And, you know, that's something that's a fact.
Yeah.
And because they have a re-export market in Guinea-Bissau, in Guinea-Conakry, in other places, even in Senegal. So they have their markets there. So most of the items that come, some of them are on transit. Then they don't even come down here. They just go straight to those markets that they are meant for.
Yeah.
Some people offload here in their warehouses. And then they put them in trucks and transport to other countries, like Guinea-Bissau and Guinea-Conakry and others. Yeah. So, you know, if it is meant for that, you know, we escort these containers or these consignments to those destinations, you know. And now also what we are encouraging, because before what we were doing is, you know, we will dispose all this rice in our environment. You understand? So, which is also not good for our environment. Yeah. But if you look at the global food wastage also, it's not also good for moral. It's not good for, you know, for ethics. Because that food sometimes we may prevent it from being eaten. Yeah. But it can be reprocessed.
It can be reprocessed.
Reprocessed into, for example, animal feed. You know, so that's the trend that I have introduced, and some of the rice that is coming that we condemn. Yeah. Actually, we don't dispose it.
You don't dispose it.
Yeah, unless it is totally bad.
What do you do with that?
It's reprocessed into animal feed.
Animal feed.
Yeah.
But do you find this particular, because where they find? Because I haven't heard of them getting fined. Because if they bring something that is not good, that's a violation, right? Well, will they not be fined for something like that? Because you have fined a lot of people. I'll come to that.
Yeah,
I've seen people that you have fined 400,000, 300,000.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes, you have fined a lot of violators.
Depending on the violation.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, why was Tylers not fined? Because that's a lot of containers, 90 containers of rice. Why were they not fined there?
No, because they didn't bring it in the market. It wasn't meant for this market.
Oh, it was not for the Gambian market?
No. Okay. It was taken to Guinea-Bissau.
But how did the inspectors come across it though?
Well,
how did they come across the product? If it was not for Gambia, how did they come across
the containers? You know, they come to the Gambia.
Yeah.
And they are put in vehicles.
For transit.
Containers, and then they take them to Bissau.
Okay.
So, as far as you are not putting it in the market.
That is.
And you have given us evidence that you are not putting it in the market.
Yeah.
And we escort it out of the market. then we are okay.
Then that is not a problem. That is not our problem.
No, that shouldn't be our problem.
Our problem.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So, for something like that, for example, if it is somebody that is putting it in our market, what kind of violation is that? How serious is that for somebody who brings rice that is infected? Because I know there are allegations of those things. People bringing rice in their warehouses and inspectors getting to know about it. What is the violation for stuff like that?
Yeah, it's under Section 33(1), 33(2) of the Food Safety and Quality Act.
Yeah.
Putting unsafe food in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a violation.
It's a serious violation.
Yes.
It says you can be fined up to not exceeding 500,000 or up to 5 years imprisonment.
You know more than me.
Because I was looking at this and I'm thinking, wow, these are serious issues that people deal with.
No, the thing is,
Yeah.
you don't joke with food.
Yeah.
Food is a serious business because, apart from drugs,
Yeah.
which you can drink and go wonky and go and die instant.
Yeah.
The next most dangerous thing is food.
Yeah.
You can be as healthy, as fit as a fiddle.
Yeah.
1 minute you ingest the wrong food, in the next 5 minutes you are dying there. You are lying there fighting for your life.
Fighting for your life.
Yeah.
And that's serious.
So food is not something
it's
that
not something
you play
to
with.
Joke with.
Yes.
Yeah. Your inspectors came across a lot of stuff in the market. I remember in Bacau, I think it's that company. Your inspectors came across onions that were not fit for consumption.
Yeah.
Like you said, you went to the source, they went to their warehouses and realized about 28,000, I think 28,000 bags, and realized that they were even, I think, rebagging and also selling these products that were not fit for consumption. And you find them, I think, about 400,000. Those kind of onions, when that happens, what do you do? Because I come across with that. Sometimes I buy onion in the market, they take it home. My maid will say, Fatou, it's destroyed, it's spoiled. We still have that. I know you don't have the manpower to regulate, to be able to be in every shop.
Yeah.
But this happened. That's a lot of, that's a serious violation.
Yeah.
Now, instances like that, what do you do and how do you handle those products? Because they can end up being back in the market.
No, actually, for big companies, for exporters, or for importers rather.
Yeah.
So, and they have bulk quantities.
Yeah.
What we normally do, because again, like I said, we are also cognizant of the fact that, business is not doing as well as it's supposed to do. So we feel for the businessmen and women in the country as well. If they notify the institution, because that's where a violation is. If you don't notify the authority, it's a violation.
Yeah.
Now, if you write to the authority and notify the authority, the competent authority, that I have this consignment and some of the, products are actually spoiled, and I need, to be guided as to what I would do.
Yeah.
Normally, what we do with them is we agree. We'll scale the damage.
Okay.
We assess and then look at the scale of the damage and the nature of the damage. Now, if it is something that can be salvaged without posing risk to the consumer, then we allow them to salvage.
Okay.
That is the sorting that you're talking about. Now, they'll remove the bad ones from the good ones.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Also, under supervision.
Under supervision of the FSQA.
Of the FSQA.
Okay.
Our inspectors then are posted there for the entire process that they are going to do that rebagging or that sorting.
Yeah.
We call it sorting. Now, and once it is sorted, the good ones separated from the bad ones, the inspectors will come, verify, and approve. Once they approve, that's when they are allowed now to put these ones in the market.
Yeah.
The other ones that are not approved, then they will arrange for disposal.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Now, I know you guys have a lot of challenges, but one of the other challenges that you have also is people rebagging without notifying you guys.
Yes.
People having, for example, you bring a product in this kind of package. You come to your own warehouse, you bag it, label it on your own without any notification to the FSQA, and you do that. And you have fined people for that.
Yes.
I've known company like Footer Enterprise. Yeah. They were fined in 2021 for about 300,000 for something like that. What are the risks of people rebagging their products without consulting with the authority?
Yeah, because the risk is that they will put unsafe food in the market. You know, because we don't know what they are rebagging. You know, we have not evaluated or assessed the food that they are rebagging. Was it fit for consumption in the first place? If the answer is no, that means you are putting unsafe food in the market, you know, and you are not allowed to rebag or to sort unless and until it is authorized by the FSQA. And it has to be done under supervision again. You know, these are the procedures. So if you don't do any of these, you know, we fine you heavily.
Now, you said something here, and I'm thinking, you are thinking about us, the consumer, but you are also being mindful about the business.
Yes.
Right? For example, is there instances where you are supposed to fine somebody 200,000 and you find them 5,000, 15,000? In instances, you're feeling for that person, but at the end of the day, they chose to bring unsafe food, or let's say have spoiled food in the market. Now, sometimes it might not be intentional. Because I remember sometimes, like I'm in the US, I'm sending food to Gambia. It takes 3-4 months in the transit coming here. At the end of the day, that food gets expired. But if I put that food in the market, at the end of the day, in as much as, you know, it's lost to me, but the general perception is the damage you might be causing to the entire consumer, people that consume that. Now, in instances like that, have there the instances where you have consideration and you're like, but this person, you know, looking at their business sense, you know, yeah, I'm supposed to charge them 200,000, but you charge them less. Stuff like that. Has that happened in instances where, you know?
No, I doubt that has happened, because, you know, if in violations, there's always first time, second time.
Yeah.
You know, and a repeated one is actually something that we said very intentional.
Okay. Yeah.
You understand? And most of the people, to be honest with you, you know, they don't know. If you realize that, like you said, they are innocent, well, they are naive.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way. They are naive about these products and their expiry. Some, like I said, some of the diaspora businesses, they don't even know.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I send my sister some stuff and I open a shop and put it out there, put some shelves and come and sell. They have no idea about what they are selling and how they should be selling, you know, like I already mentioned.
Yeah.
So those are some of the challenges that we have, you know. And of course, if we find those food and we talk to you, we realize that, you know, okay, you of course, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
It's not an excuse, yes.
But then nonetheless, there is always what we call leniency in the first offense, you know. So, and then we extend leniency, we confiscate the items, we never leave them there, we confiscate them, and we
confiscate the items.
Oh yes.
Okay.
There is no unsafe food item that we will find and leave them in that cell. They will not spend the night.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because there is a recent one that somebody, you know, gave us a complaint about one place, and it was 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Wow.
But the officers went.
Okay.
Because we could not allow to leave those items there to even spend the night.
Yeah.
So, because the moment the person knows that he has been reported, you know, he will find a way of actually transporting those items or hiding them where we will not see them. So that particular time, we, you know, the standby team absolutely went there immediately. By 9, 10, they were still there.
They were there.
You understand? And we do have inspectors on standby, let's say 24/7. Yeah. Be it weekend, be it night.
Yeah, night.
You know?
And I must say, I was looking at the number of people you guys have found, like big companies. I'm thinking that's a lot of courage to be able to look at companies that are big. These are big importers, and they are movers and shakers in the business industry. But people, I mean, somebody told me, you know what, they also question judgment of, for example, you find DAC, you find Futa Toro, but George Banners, they in 2021 were not registered, they were not licensed, and they violated Section 33 and of course Section 42 of the Food Safety Act, but they were only warned, while these other people were charged, fined 400,000 or 300,000. What is the determination there? They were rebagging, they were not licensed. What was the determination to let them go?
I think you didn't get that information right.
I didn't get it?
No.
I saw the notice that was given to them.
Yes.
And it said you warned them.
When was this? In 2021?
Yes, 2021.
2021?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was in 2021. Yes, Judge Barnes, it was 2021. It's September 2021.
Yes.
You send them a notification
Because
to warn them.
By that time, the regulation was not out.
It was not out.
It was not out.
Okay.
By that time.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
But when the regulation was out at the end of 2021,
yeah,
you know, we hit it actually.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, all of these fines, we used to have a court in Bundong, right?
Yes.
What happened to that court? Because for the past 2 years or so, I haven't had prosecutions of these cases. Yes, they are being fined, but some people will say the FSQ doesn't have the mandate. One of the businesses told me that you guys don't have the mandate, but you keep fining them. I just want to be a little sympathetic to the businesses here.
Yes,
because I want to be sympathetic to them. You don't have the mandate.
Yes.
Your mandate is to go and investigate,
yes,
flag the food, but prosecute them through the court of law. EFSQ is not the court of law. Now, it says, all of these acts that I quote, it says upon conviction. Now, these people are not convicted. How do you determine? I didn't know the court says the conviction, the act says not exceeding 500,000 or below 5 years. But that has to be determined by a judge or a magistrate. How is EFSQ taking that as they are not the court? How do you determine that? Why are you giving them fines when it's not determined by the court?
Because there's already a regulation. A regulation is also lawful.
Say that again.
There is a regulation. A regulation is as lawful as the act. This regulation is gazetted by the National Assembly. Yeah. It's gazetted.
It's gazetted.
And there are schedules.
But why are you not taking them to court though?
Why are we not taking to court?
Offenders to court?
Again, it depends on the severity of the violation.
Violations, okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, you know, we don't have a very good example when it comes to prosecutions. You know, so they took so long, and sometimes we don't have any result. You understand?
Yeah, the court
system. You know, so and it is affecting prosecutions. So we are better off going for fines than for prosecutions, because unless
but is it legal though? It's legal to fine.
If it's not legal, why are there challenges in court? Everyone has a right to challenge us in court. Everyone.
Because one of the businesses told me this, that you find them, but you know, not because they are businesses, they don't want to. But the fact
they can contest to court if they know that if they think that we are against the law, they have lawyers. All the businesses have got their lawyers.
Business lawyers.
You know, in fact, one of the businesses I asked told me one of the most prominent lawyer in the Gambia was their lawyer, and I said, go and talk to them.
Yeah.
Go and ask them to take us to court, because I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You understand? So if I am violating, the courts are here. You know,
challenge me.
We have a very good legal system, especially the private lawyers.
Yeah.
You know, that's all they are looking for, because we're talking about 100,000, 200,000. If they challenge us, they can ask for refund. Yeah. They can ask for damages. They can ask for anything. We might end up,
business, reputational damage for their businesses.
They might even end up claiming millions from us. So if they think we are not abiding by the law, let them take us to court.
To court.
Yeah, we are also suable, you know.
The government, it's not easy to sue government. You are government.
Why not?
FSQ is...
Yeah, but we have been sued, you know.
You've been sued?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we have been sued.
Okay.
Because one of the ladies, I think, took a consignment of I think, fish. And then I think the fish got rejected. And she sued us.
Oh, wow.
You know, unfortunately, you know, the consignments that were rejected are the ones that were not certified by us. So the ones that were certified by FSQA are the ones that were accepted.
Yeah.
You see? And sometimes she said that we ask her to, you know, how can you do that? Everything has to be documented.
Documented.
Yes, it's in control, in regulation. You have to document everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to those businesses who you have fined, who think it's illegal to fine them without going to the court, you are saying it's legal.
It's legal.
It's legal.
We have
It's
a regulation. We have a regulation with a schedule and everything and gazetted and signed into law.
Okay.
So if they think that we are doing the wrong thing, feel free.
Let them go to court.
Oh, yes. Feel
Now-
free. I'll be happy to find them.
Now, to the Gambian people, me and so many people who feel that our food is not safe, because when we see these things, our food is not safe. We're eating a lot of expired food. We're eating a lot of spoiled food. What do you tell them? Because this is the notion. And I think that is why this conversation is important, to enlighten people, for them to know what it takes to you know, for food to be expired, and when it expired also, what is the procedure, and what is this agency doing? To those Gambian people who have doubts in these food. Because the other day, let me tell you what happened. When this incident of this town supermarket came up, I said to myself, I'm not buying no food from supermarkets, because if they are changing the labels on food and supermarkets, because then where's the evidence that it is expired? You don't have it. To those Gambians who have those, who are worried, who are concerned about that, what is your message to them?
You know, it's about food again.
Yeah.
And food is about options. You know, you determine what you eat.
Yeah.
If you are not certain with something, don't eat it. If you are not safe with something, don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
You know, because there is what we call psychological impact.
Impasse, yeah.
You understand? So it affects you.
Yeah, it does.
You know, it affects you physiologically. It affects you.
Yeah.
You know, all we can say is that we are doing everything possible
Yeah.
to make sure that the food that we eat, that we have in our shelves, is safe.
Yeah.
We are taking all the precautions necessary. You know, it's true we cannot do it alone, but we are forging even partnerships with others to widen the, you know, the control.
The control.
You understand? So that we, in as much as possible, you know, collectively,
Yeah.
ensure that the food that is put in the market and imported from outside is actually fit for consumption. It's safe, it's of quality, and it's nutritious.
To those who say our borders are porous, how do you keep tab on all those porous borders to make sure that whatever comes in, you're able to inspect?
Well, you know, when you say official control,
Yes, official.
it has to be through the official borders,
channels, yeah.
You know, and definitely, you know, we cannot man the entire
Entire
border,
country
you
is
know.
difficult, yeah.
So, and we have very porous borders, but then what we are doing is also being present in the Lumos, you know,
Lumos, yes.
because we have decentralized widely the past 3 years.
You have coverage all over the country?
I could say 80%.
Okay.
You know,
That's good.
because we are present in Basse, we are present in Kuntawur, we are present in Janjambure, we
Yeah.
are present in actually we have a place in Birkamaba, but we still have not have an office yet, or hopefully very soon. But we are based in Kudang.
Kudang, okay.
So Kudang is also covering
around
that area up
right.
to Sambel Kunda, you know, on the other end up to the river.
Okay.
So we also have office in Farafenye. We have office in Essew, which is also a hotspot. We have office. In the borders, official borders. We have, you know, Soma, you know, Basse, Amdalai, and you know, Sileti. and Farafenya. We have Keraib. We have officers there stationed.
Yeah.
That are actually doing the official control of food that is coming in and out. Now, also they are covering the lumos.
The lumos.
Yeah. Be it at Birkamaba, be it at Wasu, be it Sare Bojo, be it Sare, whatever one, Sarengai.
Okay.
Which is at the end of
that's,
URR.
That's really,
so, and during certain times also, so what they do, they have trekking teams. The trekking teams will go, for example, like a whole week. They will start from Diabuku up to Bajakunda, up to the end of Karantaba and so on and so forth. So, and they go and they spend hours in one village, go through all the corner shops and inspect, and that is absolutely working.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, we are doing a lot. And of course, the public health officers, which we are partnering with very soon, we will sign an MOU.
Yeah.
We want them also to come on board, and so that they are trained and certified by us or assigned by us, so that they would be able also to do the official controls of food that will also add on to the weight that we are doing. So we have signed an MOU with the Gambia Police Force, which is also in place, and we will train them on food safety issues, and use their communication channels, their radio, their Policio magazine and radio, and so that we can engage the police force all over the country, so that they know what is good food and bad food. So that when they see and they know the simple regulations or the simple procedures that they would take for enforcement. So that will also help us in the total enforcement portfolio of the authority.
That's impressive.
Yes.
That is
so
impressive.
Definitely, because like I said, it's a work in progress.
It's a continuous work in progress.
Yeah, because we have come a long way from 2020 since I took over up to now. We have like offices virtually all over the place. And now we are even building regional offices. If you go to Kerawan, we are building a story building.
Yeah.
And and then we are also going into Mansa Janjambure also. We hopefully by next week or week after, we'll be allocated space. And and then we'll also try to build a regional office.
Yeah.
And these regional offices are not just posts. They are, like the Kerawan office is very big. It's a true story. And at the terrace we will have a restaurant, and because you have to inbuild some business model in the building so that it will be maintained long term.
Yeah.
We just don't want to be having those white elephant buildings, and after 4 or 5 years they are dilapidated, they cannot be maintained and stuff like that. So, but no. We want at least, we put in business models that will be able to generate some revenue that will maintain the building, So that will even pay the cleaners and other people that will be maintaining the building.
Yeah.
So it's important for us, and so far our trial is working.
It's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Bai, and I really appreciate you coming, because I hope we can continue having these conversations, because I think for me, I remember one time when I had an interview with GRA boss, and his message was, Fatou, we need to talk to you because we need the confidence of the people.
Media.
The confidence of the people, so that when the people have confidence in the authority, that way they will say, well, that's what the boss says, and they will accept it and they will believe in it. And I think this kind of conversation will only elevate that. And I'm glad that you came. I reach out to you. You would normally, some people would send their juniors to come, but you said, you know what, I'll come. And I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for coming. Hopefully we'll have more of these conversations. That way, the doubts that the people have on food that is in the market, food that is unsafe, and how you guys are working to make food safe for us. Because at the end of the day, I tell people, I go to the same supermarket with the boss. Yeah. I go to the same supermarket with the inspector. Yeah. We all go to the same market. We all go to the same food. Markets don't know rich and poor. We all go to the same market. So when our food is bad, it's not just me, it's everybody. Yes, and I think this is not just one person. Is there hotlines when, for example, if somebody sees something in a market to call or something, is there hotlines that you guys have? Yeah, we established a hotline, which is 1299. 1299. Yeah, so, and it's active. People are actually lodging complaints through it also. 1299. So
we are not only dealing with the media complaints, but we are also dealing with the public complaints on a daily basis.
Okay.
And we have a young and dynamic team, and Fatou, if I tell you that we have a 40-60 ratio of men and women in the institution,
the staff,
yes.
Right.
So we have a well balanced, gender
balance.
Yes. And which
is that why you're doing so well? Because women do very well.
Yes.
We
I must say, we just need more in the leadership.
Oh, great! That would be nice.
So and I think the ones that are in the leadership are doing great.
Okay.
And we are also an 80% useful organization. I mean, I'm one of the oldest there, and I'm still young.
You're still young. I don't know. Yeah, if you are the oldest, then that's a young really team.
It's a young institution, to be honest. It's just 11 years in operation now, so it's still predominantly a young institution.
Yeah.
So
what are the biggest challenges, though?
I urge the public to still persevere with us.
Okay.
And we know their feelings. We know their concerns. We know their fears. We are aware of all of them. And like you said, the food they eat is the same food we eat.
Yeah.
There is no difference.
No.
Where they buy food is where our families go and buy food.
Yeah.
There is no difference. So we are not, treating anybody over the other person.
Yeah.
We are trying to be as fair and as professional and equitable as possible.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it's difficult in the Gambia, you get interferences sometimes.
Yes.
But we
is everywhere.
We ignore that.
That's
and
everywhere.
Then we make sure that we stay afloat in a professional pool. And, that we are doing everything possible. We don't have all the resources, of course. We have challenges in terms of resources. But then that's not deterring us. Again, like you said, we are creating some avenues where we can collect some resources and stay and still be productive and still be result oriented.
Yeah.
In the Gambia, but also just to share with you, outside the Gambia, at the international level, the FSQA is a model when it comes to food safety in Africa, and not only in Africa, but also in the world. Because, over the past, from 2020 to date, I was a member of the executive committee of the Codex Alimentarius, which is the highest body of food safety, standardization. And then also, we are one of the African leaders when it comes to food safety. So in fact, in January 2025, we are going to take over the Codex Coordinator for Africa. So which is a big undertaking, a big achievement.
Wow.
We have done all our groundwork. We have the full backing of Africa. So definitely, and if they didn't trust us,
that is huge.
That would not happen.
That is huge.
So, and then we still have a young leadership. I'm in my coming to 5th year now.
Wow. Okay.
But then
that's young.
We have a lot of milestones that we have recorded. And we have set up a lot of important committees that will also, they are independent, but they will also support what we are doing. That is called transparency. Because we have a stakeholder consultative forum. That is whatever we do, we consult that stakeholder, and it's private and public sector alike. And we even have former ministers in that stakeholder forum. We also have the scientific committee that are responsible. These are experts in their fields: molecular biologists, chemists, and lecturers in universities and stuff like that. And those people that are both in the Gambia and outside the Gambia. And we also want to extend the diaspora people to come and work with us, because it is for the Gambia. It's not only for FSQA.
It's for the
Gambia. It is working for the Gambia and contributing to the Gambia. They are responsible for looking at the science, which is the risk and the risk assessment. So they tell us the risk, because it's not only, like I said, we categorize risk and something, but they are the ones that are supposed to tell us this is high risk, this is this, this is that.
This is that.
So and then now we do the risk management. So as an authority. So we also have the Codex Committee. That is mostly the advisory role for government when it comes to food safety issues. That's why when the sniper thing came, the Codex Committee was the advisory body.
Okay.
So they convened and immediately we, actions were started. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this.
Do that.
So, and we follow up to the end. So, and these are very important committees for us. The one that we are trying to strengthen is the National SPS Committee, which is the sanitary and the phytosanitary, because that is very, very, very important.
Okay.
If we have a highly compliant SPS, regulatory framework, the Gambia would be able to export vegetables, fresh fruits, vegetables, groundnuts, cashews, all over the world.
That is important.
So that is very important also. So, and we are moving very fast in that direction.
Wow.
We already have completed a project that was assessing the SPS requirements, or priorities rather. And we validated the report yesterday. And we're putting up now an application of $1 million to look at ways of addressing some of these SPS issues, particularly aflatoxin in groundnuts, and some other, cashew also, so that at least we'll have this, market value rising, so that we don't only export all our groundnuts to Asia, but we can export it now to Europe, to the Americas, where they will have a very high price value.
Wow, interesting.
Yes. So this
you guys are doing a lot of stuff out there,
yes.
That's why you should be coming to the media very often. These are very interesting things that you're doing out there.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that you came today and had this conversation. Hopefully, the conversation continues so that the people will get to know. This is what I always tell government agencies. They're doing all these things that they're doing, and they don't tell us. We don't know. If you don't tell the people, they don't know, and they don't see what you're doing. And I think that's why these kind of conversations are important.
Absolutely. And I value them so much. And I assure you that we are working on it.
Great.
We are not at its best, but we are really working on it.
On that,
so once we have this communication person in place, who might be a media-based person also, who would have very good ties with the media, and everything has got its own person. So you
guys used to do a lot of press conferences before.
Yes, but then
between 2021 and that's when between 2021 to 2023, that's when you guys started engaging properly with the people, media, work, press conferencing, and all
I promise that we will continue that. Because it's about being transparent.
Yes.
Because if you have, I always say this, I have a very open door policy. And because why? I have nothing whatsoever to hide. It is important to discuss this. Because even one time when I was put under pressure to say, okay, why don't we ban the importation of chicken? We poultry producers are producing enough chicken for, then we will come in and produce enough chicken for the country. I said, well, let's go to national debate. And then I think we had the national debate at the Ebunjan Theatre.
Yes.
And all the people came. The theatre was full, and it was a very interesting national debate. We'll want to continue those kind of engagements with the media and the public, so that at least they have a say in what we do. Not just the consultative committee, which is maybe limited, but also the general public would have their say. The private sector will have their say, in what we do, in issues, burning issues that are of interest to the media and to the public. We take it out there in the public and honestly and frankly and objectively and professionally discuss them.
Thank you very much for an interesting conversation, and I hope the viewers out there have learned so much from what we have spoken today. And I think also it gives us an idea as to what you guys do and how the processes that you take and how you're making sure our food out there is secure. I think that is the basic thing. Just like you said, apart from the air that we inhale, everything we consume, you check. So this is important. And I think for us, sometimes we have to get out of the politics and have these kind of conversations, issues that are human interest stories that really affect us as individuals, as human beings, and as a community. And I'm so glad that we had this conversation. Once again, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, Mr. Ba. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And to you out there, good night to you all. See you again next week. Bye-bye.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always been. As we look forward to greater achievements, we are rebranding to reflect who we are today and the future that we inspire. Our new logo has been designed to visually demonstrate our Gambian heritage and the sophisticated nature of the bank. We are moving away from the navy and gold-colored parallelogram-shaped logo to our baobab tree with a rising sun in the background. The striking outline of a baobab tree at sunrise is a familiar sight to anyone who has spent time in the Gambia. Our new logo and visual identity are inspired by our core values and spirit of being a pioneer in providing a unique banking experience. It is a completely new look that better matches the transformation we have made as a company. But we remain your Trust Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to present to you our new logo and corporate identity.